Oh, it was working then for a second. Aha. Brilliant. Right, everybody. Again, I'm trying to keep myself warm-ish. Still freezing cold in this place. I think it's just because I take the dog out, and then that's the reason why I started a bit late. Is I take the dog out, and then as you imagine, it's quite freezing cold out there. Go out there for about a couple of hours. Then we're done. Right, let's get that to full screen. I do apologise. Right, before I forget. Just gotta wait for the thing to pop in so I can see, you know, so I can respond to people who appear. That was a good use of words, Aaron. Very good. Anyway, here we go. We're back with this. Back with the letter. Where strange shit is happening, as we already seen. And these two were having an argument because, you know, his butler dared to correct him and say, "Well, actually, sir, you have these appointments."
There's always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an hour and a half drive.
Have I been neglectful? Have I offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff.
Certainly, any problem can be discussed. As long as he doesn't turn me away.
Well, there goes my good mood. Are you happy now, Hana?
Yep. I'm happy. Why must you treat me this way? Defend yourself.
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want. I'm ecstatic. Understood? And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply before he crossed his arms to look like, well, a moping child.
Any more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
No wine.
No wine? Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
I'm not sure why it would be an issue with tasting, wine tasting, because the idea is you're not drinking it, you're just tasting it, and then you spit it in a bucket, which I think is quite disgusting in a waste of the wine, but I see why people do it.
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
What side are you on?
I am on the side who pays me, sir.
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many times as I need you, traitor.
The right of the mansion is quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying attention to anything around him. Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion, I see his eyes light up in genuine interest. Apologizing is the last thing on my mind. The whole affair of the Ermengarde mansion is certainly an interesting experience. The place had been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claimed to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself looks like something befitting a fairy tale or a period piece. It is tastefully decorated, and with a little bit of love and attention, I'm sure it can be a place Luke and I can call home. The number of other prospective buyers that have come from the powerful wealthy of Luxembourg certainly did not disappoint, marking this estate as prime property. The Lees are among the group who went with the Rose Woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Unfortunately for every one of them, the Wrights are interested in buying. Oh, Real and Woe. Oh, got that achievement, so this didn't happen last time. What's been blowing my mind, however, is that Isabel. It's Isabella! What is the problem? I still don't quite understand what's happening. Well, you keep calling her name fucking wrong. I think that's an issue. One moment she is scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale. Then she is panicking over some sort of prank letter.
Dear me, is Isabella all right?
Isabella! It's apparently the way she shakes, and by the pallor of her skin, something has really shaken her.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
I am worried, but I do. But it will be best if she is attended to by someone more familiar to her, like her partner. But even then, the girl refuses Rose's offer of a drink and looks just about ready to make a run for it.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
As she does so, just as I predicted, and her partner follows like a concerned mother. There is an awkward air among us as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. Others murmur and gossip with each other, speaking of the poor daft girl and telling the tale to whoever was not audience and seen in the first place. It didn't take too long for the woman, Rose, to return and pull us aside into the study for what I rightfully assume is damage control. Rose invites Marianne in too, hoping to apologise to her as well. But the woman refuses, saying she is not one of the clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose and Luke. The last all too eager to make himself comfortable in a study he's no doubt already claimed as his own.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head. And it must be this terrible heat too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Are you sure it is wise to just let her go like that? Where is the poor dear? She might get hurt.
She's more likely to hurt somebody else, given what just happened.
I told her to sit down and take a break. Already rang someone to pick her up too.
That might be for the best, dear. But please, we're here to talk about the mansion, yes? Why, I absolutely adore it. Don't you, Luke? Some of the rooms will certainly have to be repurposed. We want to change the appliances and have Marianne lead on the decor, but the whole thing is just lovely.
I guess. It's certainly a lot roomier than our penthouse.
Exactly. Lots of space for guests, parties, a lot of room for little ones to run around too.
Let's not discuss that right now, Buttercup.
The idea of children makes him sick.
Anyway, I do think it would be a shame to let this mansion slip past us.
But you haven't even finished touring the house.
Well, we like what we've seen.
I am making the job easier for her, am I not? No need for loans or long price negotiations. We can just sign a contract and close the deal. Really, we think the woman will be more happy about an easy sale. I know how these estate agents worked, how long they had to wait, and how much they had to spend, even just for a single sale. Why she should be jumping for joy right now. I'm sure the commission of this mansion is nothing to sneeze at, even if she has to split it with the Isabel girl.
Do you think we could have horses here?
Yes, those do sound nice, love. Anyway, if anyone else is interested in buying this property, I assure you that I'm able and willing to give a better offer.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know what to say either.
A vineyard would be nice. Or maybe
And we do reward our people quite generously, Rose. So if I were you, I would start on that paperwork.
helicopter pad.
I pause. There's a small moment of complete silence where Rose and I just stare incredulously at Luke. There's an unspoken understanding, a rule, between the two of us that we have to put on an act. Without social standing, where image matters, it is also important to avoid making enemies. Hey, thanks for the following, Sweden. If I said that correctly, I do apologise. And to follow his rule is an easy feat for me. From youth, I have been the well-trained social butterfly, gracious and graceful. Sarah didn't, but Sarah works too. Alright. This game, yeah, this game. I have to admit, the reason I hadn't finished this game and I decided to stream it is because I've been so on edge when playing it because it's so bloody creepy. Ooh. Luke, on the other hand.
Wait, what, Luke? No, what? Whatever would we need a helipad for?
For the helicopter, of course. Well, he likes to play the fool sometimes, even if he is anything but. As he throws me a weary smile, I shake my head and beckon Rose over. This is to be our home, and there is nothing she or anyone else can do to change my mind. This is a place that speaks of power and importance, and, at the same time, of safety and comfort. Perhaps we can even have our family here. There's definitely no better gift than this for our special date. Why, everything here is absolutely wonderful. Ah! Oh, that fucking painting. Well, except for this ugly painting in the study, it looks like a bad fake of an Edvard Munch painting?
Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing price. If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%.
Frickin' hell.
I doubt anyone can, of course. Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price, and we can sign all the paperwork now.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous.
I guess, if that's what you want. That won't be any trouble. I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, you're more than welcome to.
I'm guessing it's a fan of your game then, Sarah.
No, I think we're good here. We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne? Oh, right. She's been waiting outside the stay this whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move this little mansion
Please
forward.
do.
There's a look of apprehension when the other woman enters the study. Yet, like a professional, I see the moment when she steels herself and masks her worry.
We have this
Admirable.
project then?
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand.
It's an interesting one to watch to see what choices people have done in the end. Where, yeah, that's a good point. I've done a couple. Yeah, I eat other things too. And then, just for the fun of it, I got myself killed. Yeah, be brave and look up, and then do the QT and everything. We all check with our supervisor. There's some more positive things to say. Can't remember what these were actually. Mostly butterfly though. Oh, don't show the letter, but they got the letter anyway. Change the subject, didn't work. Stay for the movie. Originally, when I was playing this, I chose the other bit, which was meet with the priest for the exorcism. But instead, I went with the meet the professor, which changed things quite a bit. Because instead, it became a little romantic bit with the Ash, or as she likes to call him, the Ash Hole. And then, of course, again, we did the fun death scene there. Story updates changes and having from previous choices. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. And I've cleared the data, so when I started the game again, I thought I could just start the game again. I thought I was going to do the same choices, but I didn't. Never mind. Great start.
And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's just like, have you ever played the game, what is it? 9 Doors, 9 Hours, and 9 People? The Nonary games, that was it. Have you ever played the Nonary games series? Because they have lots of fun branching options. Of course, it came on the DS first, but they've come onto the it's come on the PC since, and it's definitely well worth a look into, especially as it's got some very interesting branching stories. Virtue's Last Reward, but not 909 yet. Oh, right, okay. I think that what one was it? I think it was Virtue's Last Reward, another one, and then it's 909, wasn't it? I think 909 was the last one. No, Zero Escape was the last one. The other two are the prequels. Yeah, they are two of the first, the Nonary games, and then it comes to Zero Escape. Yeah, Zero Escape Time Deliver, that's it. Realise point my veto is on the foot. Oh, that's not good. I don't know if that's any good for the veto, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure some people could make snotty jokes about, well, maybe you'll fix the veto, but as far as I know, there's no problem with the veto itself. It's just the price and the fact that Sony didn't really support it the way they should have. But I am glad those games have made it onto the PC. Because those are bloody damn good games. Then again, I also quite like the Danganronpa series as well. Although it doesn't have the branching series to it.
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne? I guess we can send Johans to help you out. You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
A hush falls upon the room at my request.
What painting?
And lo and behold, the painting is gone. In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression.
Odd. Well, no matter. Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are simply far too busy to meet up.
Something is who with the joysticks. They drift, but nowhere near as fast as Switch controllers. Ah, okay. The only time I ever played a Vita was when they had it. They had, like, at HMV, they had one chained up, obviously, so no one could steal it. Not like I was going to steal it. But, you know, the idea was that you could try it and see what it was like before buying it. I didn't buy it because I didn't have the money, to be honest. But there's a lot of fun little games that have come on that. But it's just a shame that because the Vita didn't get much support, it just kind of fell apart. I would like to get a Switch sometime, though. I think I might avoid that Pokemon Sword and Shield, though, like the plague, since they took away Bulbasaur. And it was later revealed there was no point in doing so, never mind. Let's see, or perhaps maybe I should,
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you.
Yay. I read proprietary memory, Vita memory cards, expensive as yeah, that makes sense. If they're expensive as fuck, then yeah, it would bloody cause quite a bit of an issue. God, it reminds me of the problem I had with the PS2.
I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day.
That's great. Yeah, because the one problem I found with the PS2 game, like memory cards, was that only PS2 games you could deal with the save slots, but then later on it was just a headache. It was like, really, do we? It was like, you know, you couldn't save as much data on them. And considering some games were quite clever in that they could actually access data off previous games or off other games, like War of the Monsters. If you have a completed, I think it's if you have a completed file of Twisted Metal, you can actually play as that giant clown robot thing as a monster. And in what was it called? Dot Hack. In the Dot Hack series, after you finish volume 1, you leave a data flag so that you can continue with all your gear and stuff into the next part, and then the next part, and then the next part. Jesus, $80, really? Fuck off. That's about the price of a bloody game. Yeah, the 4-part one's the one I'm on about. I never played the other ones, so I can't comment on them. In fact, I think I've still got... Oh, shit. Yeah. That shows you how long they've been left down there. Oh, bloody hell. Anyway, there we go. Infection. Mutation. Outbreak. And then quarantine. Yeah, I've got all 4. Legend of Mana. I need to play Legend of Mana sometime. I've still not gotten around to playing that. If you had something game wise, you get like a chocobo in the. Oh really? That's awesome. You still have yours. You're sitting on a gold mine. Sadly, mine got left in the state when I moved to the team. They go for over $100. Holy shit! I am sitting on a gold mine then. Problem is, I've not completed them, and I want to complete them at some point. I'd be tempted to do it on the PS3, but the bloody PS3 doesn't play PS2 games. Well, the newer ones don't. But if the PS5, from what rumor I heard, saying it was completely backwards compatible, which I don't entirely believe, because the problem with PS3 was that you needed different lasers for PS2 games, and even then they weren't always working fine. So it's so I'm kind of suspicious there about that. But if it does, then I'll see about buying a capture card and playing through all 4. Disc 4, the Illuminati DVD, has a hidden gag movie called Dot Hack the Gift. No, I didn't know that. But then again, I never got to part 4. I'll put my hands up and admit that. I completed part 1, part 2, and I think I was on part 3. But I don't think I got to part 4. It's a while back, yeah. It's a while ago. I'm even talking. Let's see, about 32 now, so we're talking 14 years, roughly. Round somewhere between. We're talking about somewhere between 17 to 14 years ago, because I started buying the games when they first came out here in the UK. And related with the characters from Dot Hack Sign, the games in it. It's all a stand. Oh right, yeah. Well, I remember Dot Hack Sign. Is that Dot Hack Sign? Is that the long DVD series, which I kind of liked, but at the same time it was very slow. Like, really slow. Ugh. It really was.
What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
The first of the 3 to 4 volume TV series. Yeah, that's it then. Yeah, as I said, it was very slow going. That was. It did pick up, and I personally liked the interaction stuff, but yeah, it was pretty slow going. Besides, my house is a higher priority over book club. Why, we can hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it all will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern-day writers could match up to the classics. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me. Any social activity can be put off until the avant-garde, or rather, the right mansion's great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organise them
That
myself.
sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then! It's a date.
It's really not.
Why are you embarrassed about that, Marianne? Is there something that your Irish parents would not be proud of?
All right. Monday. 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who was even awake at that unholy hour? Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sure nobody gets up at 9 in the morning. You pompous little... I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
I feel elation when I hear those words from him. So that every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He goes away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval. But in the privacy of closed doors, he often expresses his grievances. He neither censored himself in front of me, nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you.
My kid has anything to say about it. I'm up at like 4:30 to 5:30 a.m. nowadays. Ah, yes, fucking children. This woman will probably explode, and then she realizes, wait a minute, children don't stay asleep when you want them to. Why? My God, why would you have one? I mean, oh my God, even I get up before 10, and I'm unemployed and a bit of a lazy bastard, let's be honest. But even I get up before 10 because I've got shit to do, and I've got family to help out. I've got things that I want to get done, and I've got a dog to take out as well, and he requires quite a good couple of hours walk that I've been doing to get myself more fit. So yeah, I need to get myself up before 10 as well. Although for different reasons, but Jesus.
Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
Yes, that's a great response there, dude. Oh, it's that time already? You forgot about last year too. I understand that he's a busy man.
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do. But I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched on for miles and miles, as far as the eyes can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sand castles. Sand castles are fun. The day before we married, I told Luke that I wanted a house on the beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true. 7 years later. Bloody hell, 7 years later. Jesus. 7 years later. I mean, my God. I'll stop reading the group chat. I've been getting involved in a game that I'm kind of co-DMing. That feels like I'm doing more than co-DMing at this point, because the other chap has been busy with real life stuff, and he's done fuck all besides responding to my questions and setting the whole thing up. He's done nothing. No role playing, no setting up quest ideas. But it's fine. I just need to kind of properly manage time. That's my problem. I can't manage time properly.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
Especially as we're such rich people who like to shit on people, like to shit on the other poor people. We've probably got several different coal mines that we make money from. Why, we'd be underwater in about 5 years.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I miss the sea. Sick and hovering over the lure at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horrible fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw out what I had for dinner, and I hate the acrid stench that fills the lavatory. Burning sensation at the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I've had that, to be honest. I get acid reflux, so I try not to eat anything at night, or at least if I'm hungry and I need to eat something, just a small something. I can't eat anything big. Otherwise I'll be, violently ill. I can feel another wave of nausea come up on me when the door opens.
Hannah, what are you doing so early out of bed?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
That's what I managed to say before vomiting again at the porcelain throne. But it turns out it's a mix of stress and undiagnosed allergies. Alright. As far as I know, I don't have any undiagnosed allergies. I'm pretty certain with my case it could be stress, to be honest. But I try to go on and keep on moving. But yes, since they won't provide the sound effects, I'll provide the sound effect. There you go. Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I refuse to look at him. I don't want him to see me like this. The last time I've had a horrible morning retching into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had thrown away months to frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. I didn't even retain any of the connections I had made from that time. Sure, they still know of me, and I still know of them, and we still do business from time to time, but I've lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any friends I hardly have any of the friends I had when I was still Hannah Eves. Teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, and old conquests like Jack.
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting.
I didn't see this before. I must have really changed. The path must have been really different. Yeah. Yeah, I think I went the other way last time, and he wanted to get to bed, get into bed with her, and I was like, no, fuck off.
I'm disgusting.
Aww. Luke sits down next to me on the toilet floor to hold my hair, even though as I cock up more fish. He rubs a violet in the corner of my mouth and
Do
just
I need to
stares.
fire someone? I don't feel sick.
That I think is based on if you show Rose the letter or not. Ah! Yeah, probably, yeah.
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it? I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
Starts chuckling, and soon enough, he's in a fit of laughter. This is actually quite sweet, 'cause like I said last time, he ends up even creepier, flirtier, and pisses Hannah off as she makes him sleep in the guest room. If not, well, he doesn't get all creepy and flirty as Isabella, and thus close enough to hear / wake up. Alright, that makes sense, because him like this, I can see him as a kind of good guy like this, you know, him there helping his wife and everything, and even having a little joke with her and that. Whereas the other route I took, he was an asshole, flirting with just about any skirt you see, and then as Hannah, I basically told him to fuck off and sleep in the spare bedroom. But no, I quite like this. This is quite sweet. This scene happening next to Lou, filled with sick, just makes the whole thing bizarre. And it nearly makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it though as I smack him on my shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing. Shut up.
When you would not stop laughing, I would let myself go, laughter bubbles from my own throat. And I forgot whatever ill feelings plagued me. Oh, he's still a sleaze, but this way you get to see his few good points. But they are still few. He's the douche. Yeah, I get that sense. We are just husband and wife, laughing together at a funny face. The little things in life. I let myself go because I know that these moments will not last forever. But if I just know the horrible things that are to come for us, I would have wished with everything I have then and there that the laughter stayed.
Hiya! Come on now!
The place is bustling with movers, carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trucks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now! I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings.
Fucking hell.
Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Oh, charming.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
God, fucking white rich people problems. Fucking rich people problems. Oh, do the dishwashers go in the kitchen or in the butler's pantry? God.
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma. No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
I can see the exasperation, and I have to send the foreman an apologetic glance. Even Johannes rolls his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johannes and I have gotten used to it. Poor Marianne, and on the other hand, was a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. thing out of place. One little thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let your Hans and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
I like Johannes. Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs to our bedroom. That's it, let's break the bedroom in. I think she might be a bit too classy for that, but who knows. This place has been arranged first so that we can get some rest, no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. I'm definitely glad I can just lie down on a soft, comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on depending on getting this move done is tiring all on its own. And to think I have a whole day of this ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with a sigh.
I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hannah. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
I'm sure I can go on without you.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
I'd love that personally. But then again, I'm a bit weird, so whatever.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
You take that back. You fucking take that back.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess. I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute.
Sir, a mutt is not a pure breed. A mutt is a mixture. Not like he gives a shit.
If you think about it, a cat would be better.
We laugh. It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about these sort of things. To joke around as if we're teenagers again, with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest-to-goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time as of late, and I can only see it as signs of good things to come.
All good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes.
I'd prefer the dead birds, mice, and litter boxes, but to be honest. Yeah, dog superior blasphemy! I quite agree, Retro, I quite agree. How are you doing, Retro? I know, I say we have 3 cats.
I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing a line. I didn't say that I am a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of.
Oh, come on. That hairstyle, that suit, everything about you is worth taking the piss out of me.
Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah. We've talked about this, haven't we?
I was going to say, yeah, Retro has quite a few foster kittens. I definitely recommend following Retro there, Sarah, because Retro has done quite a few charity streams. He did one dressed as Link as well. I believe it was Legend of Zelda or Legend of Zelda 2 he was playing, and he was dressed as Link the entire time. Do correct me if I'm wrong there, Retro.
I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
Yeah, I can believe that. Also, sometimes in Retro's stream, the cat will pop in as well. Sometimes the cats will just creep in, little buggers. Yeah, I can complete this believe this guy killing children. What should I say?
Kylie likes you well enough.
The mention of our little goddaughter places a conflicted look on his face. Sometimes it is cute when he denies having a soft spot for the little girl. But then, sometimes it's sad. It makes me wonder what happened to make him think so poorly of himself in that regard.
Yes, well, it's Kylie. The tyke likes everybody and, on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets.
Oh, you've got a devoted kitty cam. That's awesome. I was thinking if I ever started making like a decent kind of money or flow from this, and I got a ferret, I would get a dedicated ferret cam as well. So even if I'm playing something that's not action packed or something that's not entertaining enough to people, they can at least watch the ferret. You know what I mean?
And sure, that kid is great. But if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day.
He's got a point. I'm doing all right, apart from the bloody... Still got a nasty cough and that. Then again, I've not really been helping myself because I keep going out for hours on end walking the dog, and in this freezing cold British weather, it's not a very good idea.
Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
Oh, with that attitude, yeah. I have never heard him talk about his father in anything but a business context. I recall Damien Wright kept hearing about him from my own father, even before I met Luke. The business world praised him for running a tight ship, all until one mistake led to a great loss for the Enterprise. The USS Enterprise. It was then that the news of Luke Wright, prodigy son and successor to the old man, started to show up, and he aided in its recovery and regrowth until the Great Recession. I'm getting a bit off track. Regardless, I have never heard of him talk about his father like one would talk about family.
I think you'll be a great father.
There's a smile, no matter how half-hearted it may be. I do really think that. He might not be a good, honest man. Part of me knows that, though I try to silence it. But I know Luke well enough that he will be a better father than either Damien Wright or Henry Evans. I love my father, but he never had the time.
If it is any consolation, I think you'd be a decent mother.
On the other hand, I have never heard of his mother. A silence settles, both comfortable and uncomfortable. There's familiarity in each other's company, despite the awkwardness that has transpired. Defences and masks down, without anybody else looking, we are both together and alone in this quiet. Oh shit! That did not sound good. The crash from downstairs startled us both out of our fear. He let out a heavy sigh before coming up to his feet and
I'll have to attend to that then.
Be good, darling, and watch out for your blood pressure.
Yeah, it did look like he was going to explode earlier. Like his head was going to explode like from scanners. He gives me a good kiss on the cheek before leaving, while I lay there in a daze. Alone, as per usual. I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just laying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I've already lie on my stomach at this point, with my face buried in the pillows when a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as the voice comes from the other side.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, is that today? Oh yes. People had cut a window our new mansion the very moment we left the open house. Oh yeah, I bet they would. Luke had boasted he could acquire the property in no time, and allowed a photo shoot of the interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications, and it took longer than it usually does for us.
In a minute, Hansi.
Johannes, if you could at least make it through the end.
Hansi. What a little pet name, Hansy. You know, because I'm probably going to keep forgetting to say his name correctly, I'm just going to call him Hansy from now on. I think that'll suit.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
Hansy. Magic Grounds has been on one of the first things to be fixed up, aside from the bedroom. Although it's still a work in progress, it has a promising start, and I can really see the flower patches. Luke's favourite daffodils stand out easily, having been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftop of our penthouse. Ah, he's a fan of daffodils then. I would say that was a good sign, but considering how much of a douchebag he normally is. Why, if the movie crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they certainly didn't see the landscape on his way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. It is in the gardens that I see him standing near the flowers in quiet admiration. He is hard to miss, the hulk of a man that clearly did not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase he has with him makes him look much larger. It is a peculiar sight seeing someone who looks like he does handling little, delicate things with such care. He looks over the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am. Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
The one and only. Welcome, welcome to Maison de Right.
Maison de Right.
And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed. But it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Seems like the chat's died after talking about kittens. Not like I blame it. Kittens are awesome. Not what I can, actually.
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product.
Mr. Steele!
Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
Mr. Steele loves the jobs you hate.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hannah, if I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah.
Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright. Hannah.
Honestly, whenever I hear alrighty then, I just think of Ace Ventura. Maybe back later another time, but I gotta go later. Alright, that's fine, great having you here, Sarah. Have a good one. So have a nice day, yeah, well, evening, yeah. Oh, thanks, and you got my name good and one. Brilliant. Actually, wait, how did you... Oh, never mind. I'll ask some other time when you're not about to leave. You have a good one, Sarah, alright? You have a good day. Monsieur le photographe. Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with the camera and experience in the industry, at the very least. He is kind and courteous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. A really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well, whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine, whenever I get curious enough. For one, I ask what the bags are for. They are quite the magician's toolkit. From inside, he has procured several items to establish the interior with. Bowls of fruits, lemons, trays with pepper mills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with colourful nuts and grains are brought in for a kitchen setting. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in that large backpack and suitcase.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture.
Quite needed, to be honest, considering they just moved into this place.
But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights? Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
We go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackle the ones that movers have no business in there anymore. The ballroom needs little preparation with its grand design. Although there is some trouble at first, with the wide open space and the pictures being backlit. It's the kitchen that Zachary's props come in handy, considering how Hanny kept the place so neat and sterile, one can practically eat off the floor. We carry on touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with the exception to rooms which just have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at his photos yet. Fair enough, he is using a traditional camera. I didn't even know films still existed. The way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft that I am not too worried about botched photos. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes far as to talk about these terminologies like shutter speeds and aperture when I ask about the technical aspects. The only time I've ever heard of aperture in recent years has been bloody flat earthers going, oh, the earth isn't round, it's the aperture and this fisheye lens and all this shit. So. I can't quite see the picture as it is made, much like when I watch artists paint on their canvas. But just watching someone passionately practicing their craft such as this is exciting in its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite the exercise for the both of us. Despite that, yeah, it's been so nice that I find myself putting my best smile on. Tuh. I forgot if there was a button to hide the text bit. I don't mind. But it is as we're taking pictures in the foyer that everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And had I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have even noticed. It's merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. Shit. His finger doesn't move to release the shutter. Fucking hell, look at that! God damn. Yet, he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face, gaze still firmly fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake and there is light sheen of sweat on his forehead. Fucking hell.
Zachary?
No response.
Zach, is something the matter?
Damn, that thing looks like it's gonna snap her neck off. Lowering his camera, he blinks the stairs at something behind me before shaking his head. Turning around, though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he now believes Isabella did quite well after seeing that. I bet he would. In fact, I'm not even confident that I wouldn't have shat myself on the scene.
Let's get back to the pictures.
Actually, that reminds me. Earlier, my mum was concerned because people at the church have been saying people have been coming into the gardens and breaking into sheds, even though we don't have anything of any bloody worth in our shed. And I was saying, you know, we don't really need that much of a bloody lock. I opened the back door, and the dog would come out running at whatever stranger is out there so fast that that stranger is not only going to shit himself, he's going to shit himself so badly you could follow the trail back to his house. Because he's not a dangerous dog, but he's a German Shepherd. He's a big fuck off beast. He will, if you don't know, if he's friendly or not, and he's coming straight towards you, barking and snarling, you're gonna, anyone is gonna just shit themselves.
Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggle to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back and an indescribable tightness around my throat. Everything stops. And everything starts again as I manage to choke
If you're
out.
sure.
Ah, so she did somewhat feel it. Somewhat. I don't know what just happened. It's probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. We continue at the same pace as before, although there is an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened.
So,
Well,
is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do.
Yeah, I hear that.
At least, not all the time.
What is it that you want to do then?
Maybe I've been out of line, sticking my nose in other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so as I see his shoulders slump and the easygoing air he has fades away. He looks torn over whether he wants to talk about it or not.
Films, documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
What thing?
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Very funny.
So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Blue Fonzie is all about?
He hesitates. But when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills it all out. Bleu Foncé, le héros la plus sombre des Noirs Britanniques. I am very sorry to any Frenchman who ever has come across this video of completely butchering your language. I wholeheartedly agree. I was terrible at French, and I never had an interest in it as a kid, and to be honest, I don't have much of an interest in it, in learning it, that is. No offense. But, yeah, again, I do apologize for completely butchering that. Dark blue, the darkest hours of the Black British. He speaks passion of one who has gone through the very matter he is concerned with. There is conviction, knowledge, and experience in his speech. Why, I would have told him that he is an amazing speaker, if only I wasn't so engrossed listening. Prejudice and discrimination in schools and in the workplace. Lesser chances of opportunity and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. Yeah, that is definitely something that's very common both here and in the US. Although we don't admit it too much here in the UK because, well, the UK likes to imagine that we did nothing with the slave trade. We had no involvement in that. He spoke of blacks and people of colour in general still being treated like second-class citizens. Or because of the colour of their skin. It is all just positively riveting and sad. It comes to a point wherein he soon loses steam. He looks abashed, realizing what he has done.
Sorry, I just got so carried away and...
It's fine. It is really so fascinating to watch people talk about their passion after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes.
Uh-huh. Thanks, I guess.
That's my response whenever someone compliments me. Thanks, I guess. Because it's just a kind of alien thing to hear. I want to say that I understand where he's coming from, but I really don't, do I? I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I have lived a charmed life. Yeah. It hasn't been perfect, but the difficulties I've been through pales in comparison to what others experience on a daily basis. Dad, At least this woman seems to have some semblance of the real world. Not like some other rich people I could possibly mention. Chump! Chump! Ooh. Sorry, that must be a really bad cough then. Orange man! Chump! Ooh, really bad. I certainly don't know how I fared were any different. Would I still have met Luke, and would he still have loved me if I was any lesser? No, Luke, he'd probably be a complete cunt.
What was your home like? These things you talk about. It sounds like you've... Well, I don't mean to pry, I mean.
Live with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. And well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class. I didn't get pushed around or anything straight up. Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around.
That's probably why. That's probably why, considering.
But a pencil and notebook would go missing, you know?
Oh, that I knew. Children can be so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards, and the stolen item is not a pencil, but an expensive heirloom.
So what about you? How you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive.
It's nice, I suppose.
You suppose? Not big enough?
What? No, oh, don't be a bully. It's just that.
I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
I was the girl, all dolled up and treated like a fragile porcelain, with nursemaids waiting to me hand and foot. I'll clear that up in a minute, don't worry. My room isn't that messy. It's messy with junk, but not food and bloody drink all over the place. While material possessions anyone could ever want, I could ask for on a whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. But I barely saw my parents. Just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they were headed next. I saw them more often on the telly or in the papers than I ever did in person.
I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls and big halls, but nobody in it. Not really. It makes you think how alone you are.
A pensive mood overcomes us, and there's a moment where neither of us are sure of how to go on from there. Things have gotten a bit too personal, yet it isn't wholly uncomfortable, like as if we've been friends before.
Well, that's normal, ain't it? You just moved here. You'll make home out of it yet.
It certainly makes it easy to believe that. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one. Just as large, extravagant, and just as empty. I hope he's right.
So, Monsieur le Photographe, you've covered the one and only Ermengarde mansion. What's next on the agenda?
The interview?
Boring. It's an interior design and housing magazine.
And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house.
Honor Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah, blah. Boring.
True.
You know what they should print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Bleu Foncé, The Darkest Hours of the Black British. I recommend you watch it.
Aww.
Those are the things that people should know about. What do they care if I use a purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen?
People, right?
Oui. People are shite.
I think that's something that should be a quote for the century. People are shite.
What do you think? Do I look good with this angle?
I strike a pose while he's being busy, looking taken aback for a moment, probably not expecting me to just go and say such a crass word. But he recovers quickly, and after snapping a few shots, he
Yeah,
thinks,
vous êtes belle. You want copies of these ones?
Yes, please. So, the big boy knows French. You must have wooed a few ladies. Unless you're into gents. Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance.
After all, French don't care where they stick it.
No, I don't know about quoting fancy poetry, but I've made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine.
Can you cook your best?
I can cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe.
C'est magnifique.
It's been too long since I had a nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is certainly not a good friend. And although we've just met, Zachary is the sort who can probably befriend anyone. He's just a comfortable person to be around with. A bit too comfortable. Fellowship with no breeze. And somewhere along the way, as we talk and laugh, I find myself getting a bit too close without realising it. He'll give me this strange look until I backed off, and he'll go back to asking questions after I agreed to do his little interview. And it's just odd. Well, no. Me being friendly isn't that odd. That is how I am. Zachary is the one that's being odd. Why, anyone else would absolutely welcome the extra attention I give them. He, on the other hand, looks almost flustered by it. It's probably because you're married, dear. And being, as he's someone of a ethnic minority, I'm sure that your husband would fucking explode at him just being friendly with you. Even if it's nothing sexual or anything else, he'd probably hit the roof. Well, at least while he's up there, he can have his bloody hollycock pad. He should be used to different personalities by now, having to deal with various people he works with. And if not, he needs to start. Perhaps nobody has shown him attention of this kind. But he's a big boy. He should be able to handle me. All it is a friendly touch here, a pretty smile there, gentle sway of the hips as I move. That can really be construed as mixed signals. Personally, that's why I never hit on anyone, because I'm like, oh, that person's probably just doing their own thing. Zachary grew more and more. Zachary grew and grew more red every time he noticed. Am I being mean as I find enjoyment in seeing him unravel? Perhaps. This went on during the interview and beyond that. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, right? Zachary and I are just having a playful, friendly chat while enjoying the outside view. At least, that's how I see it.
I'm sorry, but I'm really getting distracted. Could you maybe stop doing that?
Stop? I'm not sure if I want to, though. Choices. Let's be a flirt. Zachary deserves it. This is who I am, and I am not going to tone myself down for somebody else. I have no obligation to do so. At any rate, he is rather cute, and it is a bit of fun seeing him squirm. What's the worst that can happen? I doubt it'd be anything bad, considering how much of a gentleman he is. Well, I'm not worried about him, dear. Oh, his thing's gone down. You know, I'm not worried about him, dear. I'm worried about your husband is gonna see explode and then fucking kill everyone.
Oh, stop doing what, Zach, sweetie?
Touching my arm and looking at me like that.
I pause, giving him a baffled look. This is certainly the first time a man has ever complained about me being too friendly.
I'm not doing anything wrong. Come on now, don't be like that. It's just a bit of fun.
A bit of harmless fun.
I'm sorry. It's just really uncomfortable and I don't think either of us want Mr. Right to see us and think there's any funny business.
Yep, just as I said.
I'm sorry. Look, we're finished with the interview already, aren't we? Maybe it's about time I go.
Oh, you must be joking.
No, I'm not.
You're certainly the odd one. Don't be such a killjoy. A little bit of flirting never hurt anyone. Other men would simply be delighted by my interest in them. Besides, you really are such a cutie.
Well, I'm not them, Hannah. So, yeah, I'm probably odd.
I don't understand you.
Let me put it this way. You're a pretty lady, so this must have happened to you at least once or twice. How would you feel if someone was making you uncomfortable? Only for them to refuse when you ask them to stop and they make you out to be the one that's wrong?
This isn't the same as that.
It is. As I try to argue the point, he starts to pack up the rest of his things. This is preposterous. My main argument is, what sort of man complains about a beautiful woman being friendly with them? Double standard. Double standard, am I right, everyone? Double standard. It seems logical in my mind, but the moment I try to say it, it starts to fall apart.
Yes, it is. Unwanted advances don't make me feel macho or anything like that. I'm not here to argue morals or ethics, Miss Wright. I think I have more than enough for the interview, if that's fine with you. I may be starting to overstay my welcome.
I feel deflated. And things were going so smoothly, too. I ended up pushing too hard just when I might have found myself a good friend. I'm not sure if I feel awful because I'm not getting what I want, or because I was just compared to the pigs I so despise.
You're not even going to let me apologize.
You're not a bad person, Hannah. Just...
Because I really am sorry.
people won't always be how you want them to be. And apology accepted, but I really do need to go. A friend of mine is expecting me and it's getting late.
Will you visit again? I will be asking for copies of those photographs.
Yeah, sure. I'll make you a copy.
That would be much appreciated. I'll ask Johans to see you out.
I feel sick to my stomach as I watch Zachary leave. It is silly to be upset over falling out with a man who was, only a few hours ago, a complete stranger to me. It doesn't excuse my boorish behaviour at all, and it doesn't make the ill feeling any better. Idling about, I stare off into space, unsure of how I feel. I stay a good while, just standing there until the sun sets in the horizon. Disheartened, I proceed back into the mansion for supper. Yeah, that doesn't look too welcoming. Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. I bet. Oh, when, Yep, we're still quite away from the end. May not be able to finish tonight. See how things go. It is dark. For a moment I thought the electric work is not up to par. But that clearly is not the case, as every other room is bright with artificial light. Finding the light switch is a monumental task, considering the size and my unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find the switch, something that will have to be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle and there's a distinct feeling of being watched. It unsettles me and only spurs me on in my search. And when I do open the lights, there is a hiss.
I'll turn the lights down, woman.
Oh, can't. The hell are you drinking, Luke? Is that green wine? They don't do green wine and oh fuck! He's not drinking absinthe, is he? That'll explain it. There, at the end of the hall, is my beloved husband, with his face in one hand and a glass in the other. Perhaps I can let it go if it's only one glass of wine. Yep, it's absinthe. However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleaming mockingly at me, with the absinthe spoon there and the sugar. Yep, it's absinthe. There's a reason why it was called the Green Fairy, and that's because it was said that if you drank enough of it, you would see green fairies. A guy that actually tested it on TV, he didn't see any green fairies, but then again, the stories of people who saw green fairies, they drank a shitload of stuff. I know, I mean, you know, will completely rot out your insides amount, which is why they started seeing green fairies and shit.
Luke, what Are you drinking absinthe?
Yep.
You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke.
I mean, he said about cutting down wine, let alone fucking absinthe.
Are you actively trying to kill yourself? Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
It'd probably be less messy, to be fair.
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with the hangover, dearest.
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad. I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much. You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem and...
Oh, I don't know, Hannah, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you? If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you.
Oh, whoops. It seems my chat things have been popping up. Oh shit, people can see my stream overview. Oops. I'm gonna have to sort that out at some point.
That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that. You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing?
Should I tell the truth or tell a lie? If I tell a lie and he knows, he's gonna fucking flip. If I say that I was with a person, he's gonna flip. Fuck it, tell the
I was
truth.
talking with Zachary, the photographer for Luxury Living.
Yeah, it went down. Of course it did. I have no reason to tell lies. It's not like I am guilty of anything. But as his expression turns, he makes me feel like I'm actually to blame for something. He has a way of making me laid bare with just a look. That had really struck me when we first met years ago.
That giant Negro.
Oh my fucking god. Well, I did say he would probably flip if he saw them being a bit close. But my god, he said the fucking N-word, didn't he?
You were having a secret meeting behind my back and it was with him?
What are you implying?
I'm implying nothing.
Yes, you are.
I'm just worried. You know better than to trust those media types, Buttercup. He must have been really friendly to occupy your time like that. But all he's looking for is his next big headline.
He's a photographer for an interior design magazine.
Yeah, he's not a journalist. If he was a journalist, I could quite understand. And if he was a journalist that was full-time work, again I would understand. But no, he's not. He's neither of those.
Doesn't matter. You let one little thing slip, one wrong move, and it'll blow up in the telly in the morning. He'll go to his journalist friends to gossip and make a quick quid.
His eyes were the first thing I noticed about him. They were like nature, the grass and the trees, wonderful and breathtaking. Now, as I looked at him, they're nothing but the same shade of green as the bloody damn drink in his hand.
He was a perfect gentleman, Luke. I can't say the same for you as of recent.
Excuse me again? We're talking about you, Hannah.
No. I am pretty sure we were talking about you and your drinking problem, Luke, right?
Uh-oh. Having over forgotten that during the course of this little spat, the man jumps up to his feet and seethes. He looks like he is barely stopping himself from throwing the nearest thing he can
Oh,
find.
it is not a problem. I can stop whenever I want.
Then stop right now, you douche.
And even if it was, I think you can very well stay out of it, as it only affects my own kidneys or liver or whatever the bloody hell that shite pollutes. Whatever aftermath that occurs because of your little chit-chat with the Negro affects the both of us, however.
Look, Luke. Nothing will happen. You have to relax. It was just a friendly chat.
Well, now I think I'm getting jealous.
For God's sake.
Or I would be if it weren't for this damn headache.
Maybe you should drink more.
Maybe.
Supper is spent in silence, with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. A grand feast has been served. Well, grander than usual anyway, most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. A platter of native oysters for starters, and tranche of turbot with purple sprouting broccoli, lemon, capers, and anchovy sauce for our mains. To finish it all off, black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. But when our appetites are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the little night I sit, in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. Even with its warm tone and homely decor, it feels cold. There's no need for tears, however. I know I can get through this, just like every other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback in what I hope will be a long and happy life. To remind myself that this place is for Luke and for our future children fills me with a renewed vigour. Besides, it looks like someone is having a cry already. Uh-oh. The wailing is far away and muffled. Yet at the same time, it shakes me to my very core as I hear it. As if the suffering is just standing right beside me. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle like goosebumps. Who is that? Oh shit. Curiosity sinks in as I follow the sorrowful sounds of the kitchen and into the wine cellar hatch.
Is anybody down there?
I'm curious and concerned. There is no way I'm going down into the dark and humid underground. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite the connoisseur. However, I also cannot bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. If it is one of the household help, they will surely need some talking. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing or another. I would have some serious concerns if I had staff working for me and they started bloody sobbing their eyes out, or, you know, just, As professional as our staff are, they are still human. More often than not, it is either Johannes or I who'd calm them down, who'd help them figure out how to go on about things. Unfortunately, I am not in high spirits right now, so I am not as wholly benevolent. So I will... Let's open the fucking hatch. I may not be going down, but there's no point in talking through closed doors. Or hatches in this case. The thing refuses to budge at first until there's a soft click, then it easily swings free. So I think the hatch and look down into the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. It isn't just sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. And as I look down, it feels as if it's looking back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. I can hear her whispering. Calling for me. She wants me. Needs me. She wants to drown me, pull me down and suffocate me in her embrace until I sink to the bottom. A dark abyss waits, inviting yet foreboding. She's calling to me from in there, isn't she? And I do want to help, I do. The shadows threaten to creep out, and the feeling of apprehension keeps me in place. Already, it paints the room in a darker light. There is a lurching sensation, and the feeling that follows after is hard to explain. It feels like I'm watching myself from the sidelines as a spectator to my actors, to my actions, or lack thereof. I will myself to snap out of the detached feeling, to move, to do anything except stare at myself. And for a moment, I see the look of fear in my own face. I'm back in my body, but the hook in my stomach is no longer there, no longer the only one. There are hooks everywhere, tearing and pulling at my skin, flesh and bones. Has this just become Hellraiser? They pull at me in every direction and it hurts. Oh, what was that guy says at the end? In God we trust or something at the end. It hurts so much, but I can't. But I just can't bring myself to scream out.
Help me.
Shit. The fuck? I wake up from a deep slumber. It takes a while, but with the fog that has settled in my head and with my heavy limbs. Oh, we missed a death scene. Oh well. Maybe I should let myself die and see what happens. Oh well. But soon enough I managed to look around. I'm in our bedroom already, although I do not recall going here. Luke slumbers beside me, looking peaceful and angelic. It doesn't matter. I'm safe and I feel better than ever. Tomorrow better days will come. Better days are here again. Luke's already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found, and trying to call for him on his mobile is a bust, as it only goes straight to a voicemail. Alright, give me a second, I just want to respond to this friend of mine. Ooh, Jesus. Yeah. Well, I'm streaming right now, so... I'm torn, to be honest, I'm torn. You know what, let's get to another scene, and then I'll stop it, just so I can speak with my friend. It's a bust, goes straight to voicemail. That's twice in a row he's got on me. And for him to disappear today, out of all days, is every bit upsetting because of what's to come. Yeah, I think I'll save it here then. Yeah, sorry guys, I just want to make sure, my friend's alright. And let's go with the raid. I better refresh this, make sure who I'm raiding is actually online. As it never seems to keep that updated perfectly. Right. Which two? Moons of Madness. I've never heard of that game. Moons of Madness. He's got about 11 people watching him. This looks interesting.
Hey chat, deliver.
Oh, for God's sake. Piss off, Deliveroo.
Just sent me this.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Deliveroo. Oh, God. Don't do that. No, KFC. Oh. If I had the money and I didn't want to, I didn't get about scaring the shit out of my parents by having someone come over late at night, I'd probably be tempted to do Deliveroo. Actually, they probably not serving anymore.
Not the way. Okay.
Interrogated her. What else are they hiding in this Project Icarus?
Oh, we.
Find her research? Did they find her?
Raid.
I don't know, man, but I sure as hell wouldn't stick around long enough to find out.
Raid.
Let's get a new map. Icarus.
Maybe speed up. Anyway, everyone on YouTube, you have a good day. And I did
There you go.
apologize to cut this down.